All right, PMC fans, welcome back, welcome back to my week 6 PMC battle. Now I know we had a pretty devastating loss last week, pretty bad one, but we're gonna try to turn it around here with week 6. Our opponent, the Great Lake Greninjas, and as you can see, he came with heat. He came with a lot of heat, definitely a lot of heat. He has his Rotom Heat, his Kyurem, which I honestly believe is going to be Scarfed, Greninja, Hitmonlee, Gligar, and Clefable. Now, myself, my decisions were based on not only my new members, but, trying to get a synergy established. Because this is really, technically, since, last week I was a little out of it, but this is technically my first week trying to get a good synergy established for the mods that I picked. So I brought Superior because I figured Superior could hurt just about anything on there. It's a special attacker, Leaf Storming it up. It's a no-brainer. Dana fan, so he can set up rocks, get everything right for me. We got Zard X, Jolteon, Jojo. Just because, there's not really too many things on it that want to take a Thunderbolt, except for Gligar, Gutra the God, and Altamero. But this was a good battle. It was really good, really close. I don't want to say who won, who lost. You'll see that yourself, but let's go ahead and get into it right now. So here we go. So to begin things off with, I decided to go out with Superior right out the door, and he decided to go out the door with Clefable. Now at this point, going out the door, I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's all out Leaf Storm, and it does a clean 40 some odd %. With them setting up rocks, that basically was a chance for us to get +2. So the next thing I decided to do was to go ahead and basically go for it again. Let's go ahead and put us at +4. So I do it. Rises up sharply. He decides he wants to start healing. Now this is where things get a little tedious. Like the battle gets a little awkward because he's rejuvenating. Me at this point, I know I make a misclick here and I do the Giga Drain instead of the Leaf Storm. It's not this time, so it's definitely next turn. I definitely do the Giga Drain when I should have just did the Leaf Storm and finished it. What was just a mistake on my part. He decides he wants to go ahead and get, Superior out of there. It's fast. It's already at +6. It's a threat. It's just a complete threat. So at this point, the Toxic's going to start to take effect on me. And this is the part where I make the mess up. I misclick. Instead of using Leaf Storm, I click Giga Drain. And it's just, I'm not worried about it. It happens in the game. I was really in the heat of the moment. He uses Moonlight. He's able to get more life back. So he goes from being red, clean back into the green. Clean into the green. Lefties kick in. At this point, I'm like, man, we got to do something about this. We got to try it. It just seems like, to me, at this point, it seems like I was fighting uphill. Like he was just getting more defensive. And even though I had a pretty strong Leaf Storm, it just wasn't doing anything. I mean, like, here we go. He gets back up to the green. Lefties kicks in, and it's like he only took like a quarter chunk of damage. So I decided, let's go ahead and do another Leaf Storm, see what else we can get in. We get him back down to the yellow, and he just moonlighting it back up. He gets healed back up into the green. He kicks in again, greens him up. Here we go. Now at this point, the Toxic is getting pretty severe. We decided to go for the Giga Drain at this point, figuring we can get some light back, and it's just not doing anywhere near enough. The Moonblast hits us hard, puts us at 36. The Toxic's gonna kick in. Puts us at 0. There was just not much we could do here. So Superior is down. Now it's already up. It's 6-5 right now. He's up. I decided to go for Denafan. He's gonna take a little bit of stone damage. But I figured, let's go ahead and get our stones up. This is where I actually started to get a little bit more serious. So at this point, you know, he brings out his Chiron. I'm like, I'm gonna go for the stealth rocks, try to get that up. He's going for the hidden power, and it didn't affect us. And you know, after the battle, a little side note, he's like, oh yeah, you know, I didn't mean to have hidden power or electric, which, again, misplays happen, misclicks happen, and that was just a genning error. So it's just something we both made mistakes, and we both had to deal with them. You know, there was no point in stopping a battle or trying to switch things up. We just said, you know, we're gonna keep going with it. It's all fun, really. So I go into Osmero. He goes into default to get rid of my hazards on the field, lower my evasiveness, but getting rid of my stones. And I decide to go for the knockoff, which does a huge chunk of damage to him. Knocks off the EVLI, so now he's no longer as defensive. I just bit my gum. It hurt like heck. Anyways, I go back in for the knockoff again on accident. And it's just, there's not much I can do. So I'm like, alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. And we go back into Denok and go ahead and get some more rocks, step back up. At this point, he decides to go ahead and root. So it was a clean switch in, but it gave him an opportunity to heal back up. So we go for it. He's going for the toxic. We missed it. We go for the rocks and we get rocks out. So essentially we got a free rocks on the field, which is cool. And we decide let's get out of here and go back into, oh no, not back in Elgin, I'm sorry. We go into Gudra. He decides to go for the defog to clear it up. What's on the field, lowering Gudra's evasiveness, but also giving us the opportunity. We go for the Ice Beam, thinking he's going to switch out into Chiron. He doesn't. He switches into his Rotom, and he really eats this Ice Beam like it's nothing, like literally nothing. Lefties kicks in, and it's like a lefty battle. So he goes for the hidden power, which I believe is ice. Yeah, and we just decide to go for the Dragon Tail just to get him out of there. So the crit hits, it gets him out of there. It throws Apollo back in. Now I figured this was a good because we had the opportunity to get him out. Our Gudra's equipped to fight a fairy, so we go for the Sludge Wave. Now I think the damage had said it would be close to kill, which I was content with because I knew he was going to set up a hazard. What I wasn't sure is if he was going to keep it on the field, so I decided to go ahead and just go for another Sludge Wave because whatever comes out is going to eat this and they're not going to like it, and he didn't switch. So he evens the battle back out, so it's 5-5 at this point. Now we're more than halfway through on this fight right now, and he goes back in the Rotom Heat. At this point I said, let me get him Gudra out because I'm going to need Gudra for later, and we're going to Osmero. Poison damage kicks in, some stones kick in, he pain splits. Now at this point, he kind of had less than us, so he gets a little bit more back, which it was kind of crazy. So the Toxic starts back up again. I go for the Aqua Jet. I think, you know, we can go ahead and kill him quick. And it doesn't, and we fall just slightly shy of it. He goes for the Volt Switch, which we live through miraculously get through. Now he goes back into Chubbs, which I was really happy about because I was like, okay, you know what, we can take him out, but we didn't live through the toxic damage. So at this point, it puts him in the lead. We go back into Gudra, and I knew Gudra was going to take him out, but I lost one of my key factors I needed to fight Chiron at this point. So the EU comes off, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but this Ice Beam does all sorts of damage, evens the battle back up. So we're back even on Pokemon 4. We both got 3 down at this point, and he goes into Eclipse. Now, when Greninja hit, I was like, okay, you know, we should be able to take him down. But this Gunk Shot did significantly more damage than what I thought it was, and it takes out my Gudra. So I'm like, okay, Gudra's down, but I should have a Mon that's faster than him. I decided to go into Jolteon. We get hit by stone damage, and I'm like, alright, let's go ahead and try to hit him with a T-Bolt. He switches into Miracle. Now Miracle being, you know, a Rotom, I thought this electric type was going to do nothing, It did just enough we could. So at this point, he's down, I believe, 3, and I'm down 3 at this point. And this is where Ozone comes back into play. Now, there's no rocks on the field, so he's not taking damage from that. However, what he is taking damage from is nothing. This Ice Beam hits like a ton of bricks. We go into the Volt Switch, which I was surprised we survived. It does next to nothing. He's a Dragon type. I'm thinking, man, we gotta be able to outspeed whatever comes onto the field. So I'm like, hopefully we can get rocks off the field. Maybe a car, because we had the custom barrier equipped. Maybe the custom barrier activate. It doesn't. Ice Beam hits. That's it for Denothan. And it's just a string of defeats at this point. So we go into Jolteon, thinking maybe Jolteon will be able to do something. Rock damage kicks in, leaves us with 4 HP. He's Scarfed. Ice Beam comes in, and that's that. Jolteon's done. We got one Mon left at this point. It's Zardex. We go into him. He loses more than half of his life to the Stealth Rock, which Mega Evolve, hoping we can maybe outspeed or his Ice Beam will miss, and it's just not the case. Scarf Ice Beam hits us like a ton of bricks. Azar comes out just to go down, and we now are 2-4. Now, most people will be disappointed or defeated or feel like, oh man, I'm not going to win, it's going to be hard. I'm not at all. It was a well-fought battle, a lot of interesting strategies, and really it helped me find out what kind of synergy I wanted to have for the Mons on my team, the new Mons for that matter. And I'm not really too disappointed about it. I know next week, week 7, we are up against the Sydney Crocodiles, and it's a match I'm looking forward to. It's a match that I'm really hoping that I'll be able to show a little bit more of this synergy and be able to pull the W out. We're not out of it. We're down, but we're not out of it, and we're gonna get back into it. But if you guys are liking what we're doing and you loving how we're doing it, hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys next time.